Hello, everybody.
Hello.
It's wonderful to be here again. I'm Karni Zor.
And I'm Gafnit Salvi.
And we are in a new moon, new knowledge, time for ourselves,
For our family.
for our sanity,
For our humanity.
for our creativity,
For our feeling life.
and for new opportunities.
And for what what make us joining the natural laws, basically.
Yes. So it's all about how can we learn from nature, and from that to better understand ourselves and enhance our well-being.
Yes, because when we work with nature recognizes us and we recognize it.
Yes.
So it's a teamwork, and teamwork works.
Exactly. That is why we're doing it.
Yes, together.
Exactly.
Yes.
So just to say a few words about what we're going to have in the next half hour, 40 minutes. Gafnit and myself will present the notion of new moon, new knowledge. We had half a year that we did these meetings regularly. Then we had a break from it because we were traveling all over the world giving workshops, and usually we had a title for each one of our events. This time we left it blank,
Open.
also for your questions. So if you're here with us, say hello and say your name. This is also our way to know who is with us, and
Tell us where you're from.
And we'll start right now with the question, because it's a new moon today.
Yes. Did you see the moon?
So the idea-
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
A slice.
It's a slice. It's a slice. But even my granddaughter, she's very young, she's a year and 10 months, she said, Katan, katan. Katan means small in Hebrew. Katan, katan.
Exactly. And this is the notion that we want to talk about today. How can we start new things, knowing that we started from from a very small thing,
Yeah.
like a new moon, which is a slice.
Yeah.
You'll know it will take a whole 2 weeks for it, only 2 weeks, to grow to a full moon. Amazing. That's it.
2 weeks. How can it be? It's like miracle.
Exactly. And there is pregnancy. It takes 9
Yes.
months
Yes.
to come to
Full capacity
full
and birth.
blossom, exactly, in a child.
Yes.
And there is the seed that might take, there's flowers that you can see it, after a few weeks already they pop, but it can be a tree that takes lots of years.
Thousands of years. And it's still growing.
And in that we want to be today, in the question of how can we grow things from the small to the full capacity, or to the time where we can see the results of what we seeded. So
and I think this is already to connect to the natural law, because in nature everything starts small.
Yeah.
Everything. An apple tree, an oak tree, a baby, a cat, an elephant. Imagine an elephant or a whale start so small, and it grows and it grows and it grows, and it wants to be in its natural rhythm. The elephant does not come to the doctor and say, hey, look, I want really, I don't have time, I want elephant pregnancy is 21 months.
Wow.
And it's not about...
wow, it's almost 2 years.
Yeah, it's almost 2 years.
Uh-huh.
And it is not about, hey, let's make it fast because I want to go to a wedding, or I want to, I have a concert or something. That's natural.
Yeah.
So knowing that today we have the capacity of enlarge and make things amplifying, but the real things, the real connecting to nature, it starts small. Yes. And I think this is something that can cause us a peace of mind.
Yes, I think it is so different from what we are used to today. If you're busy and you're seeing a movie, well, you can fast forward it and do it. You take a course, you have all the material. Now you can see it whenever you want. Almost everything. You want to have a pizza, you go downstairs and you buy already pizza. Everything in this world, which is very unnatural and not healthy, most of it, especially these immediate things, they train our brains that we need to have quick results, immediate results,
satisfaction, immediate satisfaction.
Exactly, and this is not how things grow in nature. And I want to say hello to Steve. Hello, Steve from the Netherlands. And Steve has been to many workshops I gave, and also here in Israel and in the Netherlands, different places in the world, in Wales. He also studies astrology with me. And talking about the Netherlands, for example, you see there such huge trees. Yes, you almost break your neck
to see the top of
to see.
It's also about human.
The
men
are very tall.
And the women
as well. Yes, some people are very tall there. And then we want to remind ourselves that everything started from a small seed, and this is absolutely important, because if you want to grow something in your life, if you want to have a relationship, if you want to have a business, and you want to see it grow good, natural, in balance, blossom, really it's good to remember all the stages of growth and how things grow organically and naturally, because then they will stay.
Yes.
So
I want to give an example, because you spoke about relationship, and I thought how many times when we are in the house, or we're coming into the house and there is someone in the house, and because we are already familiar with the house, with the time we come home and everything, we even don't bother to say hello sometimes, or we say hello, hi, I'm here, and everybody is busy. I mean, busy in good things, but what about just say hello, come, give a kiss, give a hug? This is something very, very tiny, but it can really determine the rest of the time of the family inside the house. Because if we ignore someone, not because we ignore him by purpose, because we are deep into something, the seeds of relationship and recognition and warmth and looking in the eyes and giving a hug, which immediately produce such a good hormones in the body, is not there. So where shall we be the start later on? Okay, we can fix it, of course, by after a while saying hello, but this is something when we welcome someone to come to the house, or when we welcome the house and we say hello to the life in the house.
Yes.
As well, not only to the human life. And you can see, whenever you come in and there is either a dog or a cat, they will respond. They don't have the psychologists, are not busy in their mobile telephone and computer. Immediately they will respond. And this is natural.
Yes. Well, many things come to mind when you talk. Just now, my husband told me that he in our very small village, there are turns in guarding in the village's gate. So he was guarding in the gate, and suddenly one of the dogs of the village ran and appeared at the gate, and immediately after that, her owner came with the car. But and it happens a lot, it turns out, but she knows from the house that her owner is coming. What's about that, right? Isn't it just
does she have a good technical hearing that she can recognize the car voice?
So these days we use GPS, we use ways to get to places, but this is an imitation of something natural in the system, We see it with animals. We know it maybe if we have good instincts, that something in us knows in advance what's going to happen, and especially people who are close to us. So during the years, the dog and her owner created a line between them, and everything about seeds and little deeds done in repetition that create this line of sentiment so strong that the dog can feel her owner coming. From by a car from far away. Like, no, it's not that she heard or smelled him nearby. Yes, it's not that he's at the door and she knows. It's really from far enough for her to run and meet him at the gate. So this is absolutely amazing.
And also it's amazing that the person that was guarding noticed it. So it creates an actually recognition and appreciation of something unique. So it's made the ecology there near the gate, and you could say, it's only near the gate, who cares, it's only the gate automatically open and close. No, but something is really happening there. And this is recognition of the sentiment.
Exactly. And so it's the recognition of the sentiment, and again we're going to the fact that when you want to have something, yes, you can't go to the end result. You can't have a dog that feels you if you don't go back to it and develop the lines of sentiment, if you don't feed it, if you don't pat it, if you don't respect it, if you don't love it, the line, this very, very strong line, won't be there. And then we're going to relationships, not only with animals, but also with our spouses and with our children. So and ourselves and our business. So we're taking this notion of doing small steps again and again and again, like having this tiny line going out to what we want or who we care about, till this line becomes something which is of substance. And this is how the synapses work in our brain. When you do something new, it's first just electricity. But if you do it again and again, it becomes an actual
material
wire. Yes, it becomes it condenses into actual matter. And this is, of course, an analogy of how to create things. So let's go into the subject of I have it here, of relationships. Okay. So thank God I'm in a relationship for 17 years, which is like a million years. How long are you in that relationship?
42.
It's almost my age. It's unbelievable. And I say thank God because I see how problematic it is these days to really create a relationship
that is based on truth, on love, on respect, on warmth, on openness, to share, on how to solve the small difficulty. And really it's becoming very, I think it's more complicated today.
Yes. And I'm thinking that, when I started dating my soon-to-be husband, later to be, it was a different era, and these days it's the day of applications, apps. I can't imagine how people go through it, but I know that many people go through it, and the idea there is, again, it's the commodity of yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And it takes out something very, very important from a relationship, which is you actually need to work for it. You need to work for it. Now, if two people come to a relationship and all they want to do is get something out of it, then obviously it will collapse.
Obviously.
Very soon. To be empty. If everybody, comes to the bank and collects the money, it will collapse very, very soon.
Yes.
But how about going into a relationship, even if you're 17 years together, 42 years together, and always giving the pulse of love, endearment, care, the sense of family, And by that strengthening this line, till this line really becomes of substance.
Of evidence, but still we need to polish it, to clean it, to make
Yes.
it with a humor, with love. I remember when we did once walk around the village, and I told you that I'm still falling in love with my partner after 42 years.
Amazing.
And it's amazing, many times I looked at him and said, who is this person? Like it's a mystery, it's a universe.
Amazing.
And it's kept me, even if in like difficult time and not everything is like, always roses and
diamonds
red
and
wine,
sparkling.
and sparkling champagne. But it's kept me like on the tip of my chair to get to know a person better.
Yeah,
and
amazing.
It's a small steps. It's a small steps.
Yes, and I'm actually having the inspiration from what you told me, that if you can say it, about the deal that
Of course.
that you always, when you come back home and we see one another,
Yeah.
hello and hug and
Yes.
recognition, and it's so important and not obvious these days.
Yeah.
Also, with my children, they come from a very intense day in school, and all they want to do is come home and
Open
the mobile phone or disconnect. And I always no, come, sit down, let's have a meal, tell me how your day was. And this is not maybe the first thing that they would want to do. It actually stops their flow, and they're so full of school that they really need to have their time. I understand that, but this is the time again to send this wire of love, of something stable, of a home, appreciation, family.
Make a change. Do a pause between one thing to another.
Yeah.
Because we have so many different kind of life. So if we always respond from like the student mentality or from the mother mentality and not from two human meet, and it's the environment, it's a womb of the family. What do we want to have there? And this is how we can grow respect, to re-aspect each time, to re-aspect. This is our heart. Is beating small. It's not, okay, today I will tell my heart, you know what? Beat one time, big time, and this will be enough.
It will be the end.
And it's incredible. So everything, like it's a smile, a blink in the eye, It's so, and we are so sensitive as well. And let's not give up this sensitivity. And we say to develop today an elephant comes up. To develop elephant skin, like the elephant don't feel, it's not true. The elephant in these days, if we would follow few of the amazing stories in Africa and in China, that the elephant started to walk long distance, came to a place and did all the journey back, and still people don't know why they did it. But they are very sensitive to ecology, to atmosphere, to changes. And we want to be sensitive. I mean, sensitive, not all the time explosive sensitive, but sensitive and learning to read the runes. The runes, like if you have dots, how we connect the dots, and each dots is important. And not to make it like all one bulk of things.
Yes.
Because then we take everything and we make it like low common denominator. And I think the natural beauty of seeing the moon and see how it gives us a signpost. In 2 weeks it's full, and it's also moving very fast. How fast?
Every month the moon does a whole cycle around planet Earth, which is so fast. so huge, such great
Superstar.
distance. Exactly.
It's a superstar.
Tiny moon, but superstar, yes.
Yeah, and also we don't see in big cities, we don't see the moon today.
Yep.
So how do actually we know that something influences us even if we don't see it?
Yeah.
It's a big mystery. There's so many things that influence us that even if we don't see it.
Yeah.
But about nature, how can we actually become aware where we have this light pollution and also air pollution, because then we don't see the sky anymore? How can we overcome it and really connect like the synapses in the brain? We can overcome it and connect to the natural frequency.
Exactly. Because we're talking now about, we talked before about connection between two seen things. So two people can start to have a relationship. If it's someone you love, it's if your child, if it's your dog, you send synapses and suddenly there is a big shaft of connection. But these things also apply to the unseen world, to beautiful things that come and talk to us. And if we're not quiet, we're not listening to it, then we're not practicing these connections. But if we are aware of, for example, an intuition that comes in, and we do a sign even to ourselves, wow, yes, I knew about that, I knew who would call, you start to strengthen the line to it. Or if you have something moving you about your vocation, or if you have an inspiration, a muse coming in to write a song, to write a poem, to write a post, to take a picture, to create something, then if you start to have traffic with it, you send a line to it. And first it's a very small, like, yes, I recognize something is coming in line, spark, but then you can start to really strengthen this relationship with that thing. And people think, oh, you know, I want to immediately become a famous songwriter.
Yeah.
But this will happen when you have enough traffic with the small things.
Yeah.
With having an inspiration, with sitting down, just playing with the piano, or writing a poem, if it's not, even if it's not perfect. So the idea is to start small, and a bit by bit, suddenly you start to get the substance of it.
It's like, it's like taking the pen and holding it. We may not know what we're going to write or draw, but we make a signal to the unseen world and say, hey, we are here, we are ready, this is our tool. We have a piece of paper or a leaf or something, and we have a pen or brush, or we have a chord on the guitar, and we make a sign. And then something that really watches us, and there is something that watches us, say, oh, someone is ready. I want to land an inspiration on their head and make something possible.
Yeah. And this is creating a signal, because you need, to have a spark on one side, a spark on the other side, and things happen. So we can create a signal even by having some time, having time free. So, okay, I'm sitting now here, and I'm waiting for inspiration to come, even if nothing comes.
Yes.
And this is, I think, yes, it's very, very important, because people today, well, the world, most of it is not in a very good situation. There's lots of depression, but also there is the feel that, okay, if I want to create something, then it needs to be immediate. But the hope really lies in knowing that every small step I do counts.
Yeah.
And this is possible, right?
Yeah.
It's not possible to be famous in one night, but it is possible to clear the schedule for 1 hour a week and to say, I'm ready for inspiration, or just hold the pen, or hold...
Even a 5 minutes a day, even this, 5 minutes a day. Like today I was sitting with my granddaughter, and she looked from the kitchen table, and you can see the tree, and there was wind in the morning, and it's a beginning of autumn. It's still hot, but it's the beginning of autumn, and like for 10 minutes she was observing the wind moving the branches and the leaf, and how some leaf was falling, and I could see that she is witness a magic in life, how the season is actually cause all these events, all this theater to happen, and it's a bit by bit.
Yeah.
It's a bit by bit. You know, I didn't say nothing. I was just so amazed by, I tried to catch her view about seeing it. And I know that next time she will respond, and next time she will respond. So she's starting to get impressed by the nature. And of course, you know, we can always, if the child is bored in a way, we can always try to make him happy, but she was observing and recognized that something is going on there. And it's amazing because later on we went to this beautiful event that here was in the school, where I think more than 600 children, parents, brother, sister, grandparents came for an happening of a good time. With workshop, with soap balloons, with
Stories.
dancing, with storytelling of the Ring of Turquoise, that Karni is part of it. And then she went and played with the bubble soap. And again she understood that by the power of the wind, a whole bubble of soap can happen. So I could see in her brain how things are connected. Small understanding here, connecting the dots. What are the influence of wind? And you can say wind, it's unseen. I mean, who cares? But it's amazing to see how children slowly collect and absorb the magic of life and make a sense out of it.
Yes, amazing. And I want to say hello or aloha to Barbara, our friend from Hawaii. It's wonderful to see you here with us. And this is also an example of how to create something, because Barbara and us are thinking for a long while about a workshop in Hawaii. So Gafnit and I, the next retreat we're going to give is in Costa Rica in February, which is also a good example of how to plant a seed and start to see it grow. But with Barbara, we're talking, I think, already for a year or two. We're brewing around Hawaii and COVID in the middle, and now it's not possible. But the feeling is that every time we're putting there another filament and building this thing, till it would be the time for the retreat in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's a pregnancy.
It's a pregnancy, yes. And you know, and other people can say, oh no, it doesn't work, you know. But it's not working. It's in a process. And again, think about that, about relationships, about your business, you know. Something needs the cycle of growth. This is something so important to learn from nature, that everything has its cycles. It just needs to have its cycles.
Yeah, so if we take like, you know, a seed in the, even if it will be in a very nice box, until we put it in the ground, it can't fulfill its potency. And it's amazing design, because it's incredible. It's really incredible how a small seed can become, you know, you have thousands of examples. We see how much we care for the rainforest and what is happening, and it's all started from small seed. So potency of something small, it's need to be put in the right ecology.
Yes.
with the right environment, with the right love. Not, okay, I put it there, I forgot. It's true, some things grow even if we didn't pay attention. But if we pay attention and we know that our uniqueness is there, we can actually add to the potency and to the sentiment and endearment of this little seed. So if we take, because it's take the moon to be full, 14 days, around 14 days. And we like took a seed of a quality we want to strengthen in our life. Let's say humor. Okay? Humor. Like true humor, not dark humor. This we have enough. So we plant the seed of humor. Which kind of ecology does it need? Which kind of energy it needs? Light, water, and where did we plant it? Where did we plant it? Do we really remember? And we actually take a piece of paper or a little calendar, and for 14 days, every day we write something about either it's a joke or what actually caused natural humor, or someone that's really good in humor, and we call them, and like Rami, the partner of Karni, is really, his natural humor is like, wow, you just stand near him and you laugh. So, but he actually grew it. He once told how he grew it. And for 14 days we write each day a little task or a joke or something, or we phone someone and say, hey, I have a joke, can I tell you? And so on. We can grow this seed of humor, so at the full moon it will really be something. Then maybe we can tell 3 jokes in a row. And I want to tell a small story because we've been now in Italy in a workshop.
Yeah,
in
we gave a whole workshop in Italy. We just came back 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
It was amazing. Thank you for Massimiliana and Bonifacio and Marina for creating this beautiful opportunity in the organic vineyards of Tesserolo.
Which was incredible. We will do more.
We will do more
of
these.
Yes. So, Caleb is one of the people that came all the way from Texas to be with us in these 2.5 days of workshop. And at a certain point he told me, you know, you've got this very good sense of humor. And I said, really? And I smiled. And he said, why are you smiling? I said, look, I think 4 years ago, we had a White Top, which is Young Template of Peace gathering, of training of young people from all over the world. And everybody said what they want to train themselves. And I said, I want to train myself in international humor.
Wow.
And I remember it. And I worked on it. So it didn't happen in 2 weeks' time. It's happened much longer. But, hey, the tree grew.
Yes, yes. Amazing. Amazing.
What a great story. I mean, Karni, she have a little bit of a cold. This is why sometimes the camera is turning, is moving. It's not because of the wind. So these 2 weeks of growing with growing the seeds of something small, and you can declare it to your family, to yourself every time we look at the mirror in the morning or whenever. But we can also keep it very internal.
Yeah.
Because you know, the seed potential can only come to fulfillment when we put it in the right ecology.
Yes, yes. So you can have, these instant workshops telling you create your vision and see it and do the actions, but we're coming from a very, very different pace today and different attitude, and suggesting for the next 2 weeks at least to take the time and to send out a small filament towards what you want in the future. By a thought, by time you give it, by a small action, by writing something down, by calling someone, but not to rush into the end results and
Yes.
things, and to allow things to have their process and to have their time. And this is the suggestion.
Stay in the process. Let's stay in the process. And if we can, let's look up to see the moon. Really.
Yeah.
If we can, and see how tiny the difference is, but still it's incredible. Still it's so unique. It's give us but why is it, as astrologer, why is it that the moon is so influencing us, and in which way? Can I ask you?
Oh, you can. It's a whole big thing. But
Yes.
So maybe, you know what? Maybe next.
We can do it next.
We can give a whole time about that,
Yeah.
about the influence of the moon upon us. But just to say that the moon is connected to our emotions. She's connected to the water element. And the waters are always in movement and also in us. And our emotions, the energy in motion. And this is one of the things that is most easy to manipulate us. You know,
Yes.
something comes, we're reactive emotionally. Someone cuts us in the street. Even we have a wonderful present waiting for us, but our emotions is something which is always
On the move.
on the move and
Yes.
reactive, and also connected to the moon because it's always
Yes.
in cycles, always in change. But this can be a whole
So maybe next
a
time.
whole thing to talk about. But for now, I think it's a very good idea to look at the moon and see how it grows. Just a minute. I'm every time I'm putting aside, I'm just taking care of my nose because I have this cold. Sorry. I thought it would not be aesthetic to blow my nose in front of the camera, but it happens again and again. So it would be a good idea to take this 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If you can see the moon, to see how it grows and to think about these filaments that you're sending and to imagine how these filaments grow as the moon. Now, it doesn't mean that in 2 weeks your wish will come true, but you are building something. Yes, so Irem, hello.
Hi.
Irem from Turkey, our friend. She talks about the lunatic, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, how the moon, the luna, influences our emotions. But it can also help us grow things, the cycle of the moon. The moon is our inner child, which this is why, you know, this is the part of us which is very reactive.
Yeah.
Not as our controlled adult, but also the little child loves to learn and loves to grow. So it talks about curiosity and the ability to grow.
Want to try things.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So it's a very good exercise if you wish to have it during the next 2 weeks, to send the filaments towards that which you want to see in your life. And
and which kind of ecology does it need? Like the little baby need an ecology of warmth and safety and the right temperature and smiling and hugging and love and nourishment.
yeah.
You know, so what are the seed need? It's nice. Because the E in the middle speak about the elective of the energy. It's
Amazing.
need. So it can grow.
Yeah.
And this can be with creativity, with music, with movement, with so many things that are simple, so simple. We can say, oh, it will not work, but it's so simple that definitely it will work. Definitely it will work, and like sense of humor, international sense of humor. Yeah, which mean all the jokes about, you know, a Jew, Islamic and a Christian is not very good, because sometimes it just put down one thing. It's not a different kind. So you want to show the cards?
I'll show the card because this is the card that we took before the meeting. But now I actually shuffled the cards and it came out again.
Oh.
So I don't know what it means. This is one, of course, of my astrological cards. But maybe it tells you something. People looking about the brightness and uniqueness and how to start to let your true uniqueness shine and grow. So this is the message for today.
Yeah. And please, when we look at the mirror in the morning, give ourselves a compliment. It doesn't really matter if we slept like this with a pillow or something, our nose is red or something. Let's give ourselves a compliment, because this is a start of a start and a continuing of a love process towards ourselves. So yeah.
And maybe towards the end we'll just say a few words about Costa Rica.
Yes.
Which is the next destination that we're going to go. So just to say that we've been very, very active. I've been already in Costa Rica in July, Corfu, Macedonia. We've been together to Italy. We gave the workshop there. And our next destination is Costa Rica, which is the place to plant seeds, really.
Yeah.
Talk about the fact that every country, every place on planet Earth has a certain ability that we can connect to when we visit. Costa Rica is a place for planting seeds that we want to see grow during our lives. It's also a beautiful place to connect to nature. It's a place to connect to the essence of life, to the vigor, the vitality.
And also I haven't been there, but just from Karni's story and the picture and reading about it, it's connect the many life together. It's not only monkeys or donkeys. It's so many life in interrelationship together, and they live in harmony. They live in a great space for each one, which is absolutely amazing, because it's a good lesson for us. Yeah.
So if you want to hear more about Costa Rica, of course you can see on my site inastrology.com a link to all the details. This is the time to register, because we're going on February 1st. So the February 2nd, 2022, we will open our eyes in Costa Rica. So you can see all the details there. And just to say about our next plans, a next full moon is actually a lunar eclipse as well. Yeah, just a minute. Do you want to say something about it?
Yes, so not everything is like going on the same. I mean, also the planet and the moon and the sun, they've got their own rhythm of doing things. Sometimes, things will be a bit different and a bit difficulty and not will go the same way, but it will help us to be developed.
Yeah.
It will, and we will talk about it next time.
Exactly. So next time that we meet will be at the evening of the full moon of the lunar eclipse. Would that make us lunatic or very inspired? So this will be our next time together. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And
please,
thank you everybody who joined us.
And please share in the Facebook if you want about the process, or next time, or write to us personally. How does it going, and if you have any question, because just spreading these seeds around, that we have a natural way of development and refinement and evolution in the small things is a big thing. So be well, be safe. Thank you for joining.
Bye bye.
And feel good.
Thank you. Till soon. Bye bye.
Bye.